Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatgurum. So it is last 2 weeks we are discussing about the glory, the significance, importance, value of knowledge. Think of a person who is expert in dancing or singing, or a person who is good in driving or riding a bicycle, whichever craft which has become part of him. If you do not know how to ride the bicycle, and when you learn it, what you learn is to keep the bicycle in balance on 2 wheels. Once you know how to balance, is there any way to forget it? There is no way. If you became a singer, not ordinary singer like us, think of great singer like Lata Mangeshkar or somebody. Can she sing out of tune? Even if she wants, she cannot. What we are telling here is, this is the difference between information and knowledge. Knowledge is always that which becomes part of you. Information is gathered. Information is gathered like things you gather, which you can change. Which if it is not important, you will forget. That is information. Knowledge is that people confuse between knowledge and information. We used to say knowledge is treasure, knowledge makes you rich. That knowledge mostly people consider as information, as this age in which we are living. Who is more powerful? Who has got maximum information? Who can even become rich? Who keeps maximum information? We are not talking about that information. Today somebody compared, so it is in my mind. If I want to send a letter to you by normal post, local, I have to spend at least 60 cents to 70 cents. Just a letter to send to your home, I have to spend money. How come in that case, which 10, 12, 15 years before, we used to buy IDD card. You spend $10, you can speak for. We started with 10, 20 minutes to little more than an hour maybe. Today what is that even the video call is free? You just pay for Wi-Fi. Even you ask my Wi-Fi password I give you, and here is, you are connected with the whole world without spending a cent. Who is there who is spending for you? Why they are so much eager to give you free service? They must be getting something out of you. It is that information which makes them rich. Technically, we may not know much detail about it, but this is from the end user observation. A simple letter takes 50 to 60 cents, $7. how come that which costs hundreds of dollars is given you for free? What is that of you which they are taking from you? There are many things which I am not a technical man to say that, but when I hear, it is not only mind-boggling, it is scary. Those who are in IT field may know better than me. This is the phone connected to Wi-Fi, internet. If I just say 10 times football, 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 after 1 hour I start browsing, there will be advertised popping up about football. Why it is scary? Your mobile phone, your smart TV is a living person in your house who is hearing you, seeing you, etc. I do not know, I am totally ignorant about it, but they say if your smart TV, which comes with a camera which you use like a laptop monitor, at least close that camera with something if you are not using it. When you use it, you open it. Maybe a physical, just put a piece of cloth and put a clip. Because if your screen, your computer, your TV is connected with Wi-Fi, believe me, anybody can be handling it and will be seeing you what you are doing. I do not know, again I am telling, these are all what I hear. One of our devotees, of course in other country, very important scientist who was part of that meeting, anyway I can't tell you details about it, where the big prime ministers and presidents of the country met in totally a third country about one country having weapons of mass destruction and all that. The gentleman as a scientist was part of that. He says, Swamiji, my field is atomic research. I don't understand this computer. My computer I have shut down in the night, completely disconnected. Next moment when I am opening, I can see my computer is used by somebody. So even if you send me any message or emails, that objectionable, you don't use objectionable words of course, but anything which could be something dangerous, even for the sake of, you don't. We don't have idea. What we lay people know is not even 10% of what the scientists or the original people know about it. How many of us know how much your mobile phone and computer can do? We are not using even 10% of its capacity. Just some messaging and some apps and some etc. But it knows it can do much more than that. Why I am telling this is, these are all part of information which you have. If you don't use it, you will forget it. But what you call knowledge is not information. Knowledge is something which you come to know and which becomes part of you. Even if you want, you cannot delete it. It is your knowledge. I don't know whether dementia and Alzheimer can delete it, could be. But otherwise there is no way. As I told, if you are an expert singer like Lata Mangeshkar or somebody, can she sing out of tune? No. If you know how to drive a car and you are driving it for years, is there any way that you forget driving? Suddenly fine morning you say, no, yesterday I deleted my knowledge of driving. I do not know how to drive. That doesn't happen. Once you know, it becomes part of you. And this is about that which is part of you, but it's a worldly knowledge. This knowledge is above that, not worldly. To know about yourself, not as an information, but as your swanubhuti, experience of yourself by yourself. So if you come to know about what you are, religion and spirituality, different facets, different levels are there. People keep on beating around the bush about religion. Very few people talk about spirituality. In spirituality also again, it's all about moral values. Very few people speak about that spirituality for which religion and its rituals and temples and books and paraphernalias are developed just to help you to do that, and we are busy with that. Can you just take admission, stay in the laboratory, use the burette and pipette and what other instruments are there, all the different chemicals are there, just by using that, can you become a scientist? No. Can a person who works as a guard or storekeeper in a medical college, even if he works for 20, 25, 30, 40 years, can he become a doctor? No. Why I am telling it? In the same way, you keep on doing rituals throughout your life, you don't become spiritual. It doesn't make you spiritual. As using different instrument and keeping it clean and arranging on the table properly, that doesn't make you scientist. In the same way, using this, all the ritual paraphernalias and instrument and utensils and flowers and ingredients and all that, you keep on dealing with it for ages. You don't become spiritual by that. Adi Shankaracharya, when he wrote Vivek Chudamani book, in that he writes, hundreds of lives you keep on doing rituals, sorry, it will not take you one step forward. But it can take you forward provided your purpose is spirituality and not the ritual itself. So, what is this knowledge? That which goes through you, I'm trying to find the vocabulary. That which touching the core of you, that becomes part of you, is only knowledge. Remaining everything is information, which can be changed, which can be forgotten. Science, for example, what you call science is what we call objective science, science about the objects, and then changes. What in the name of science, what we used to use 40, 50 years before, today even if you go in the market, you don't get it. Go to market and buy one audio cassette player for me. You go to the whole market, you don't get a single place. Forget about it. Get me a laptop where you can insert a CD. The CD drive is gone. Just matter of 12, 15 years. Remember floppy disk square, 3.5 inch? How many years we used to save our documents in floppy disk? Present generation, young children will not even know what is floppy disk. When I came, 2001, just 2000, I'm telling you just so that you can understand how many years? Maximum 24, 25 years. So our yoga class at that time also was going on. So I suggested them that all the instructors all of you want, you are doing here yoga, but you need to know what Hatha yoga is only part of that. The whole yoga is totally different science. So let us, during off period when you don't have a yoga class, but you come only to do practices, instructors only. So 7 Sundays, I spoke to them about Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. So on the 7th day, they say, "Oh, Swamiji, we want to give a small gift to you." I says, "Okay, don't buy anything expensive." So they gave me something. They didn't tell me what it is. I went to my office and opened. I'm trying to see small thing. I can't understand what it is. But it looks like something electronic. There is no switch. There is no button. There is nothing to press. So one lady devotee comes. I told, "What is this?" "Swamiji, I will find out for you tomorrow." I said, "Okay." After a few days she came. I said, "This is something like, they call it pen drive, Swamiji." I said, "What does it do?" "No, you can save document." "But that we save in a floppy disk and CD and all that." No, nowadays, this is very recently it has come. If I tell you, you will laugh today. And I was so much impressed by that. 32 MB. What is that? Nothing. And I was so inspired that I must gift like this something to the Swamiji who is looking after the accounts of the whole Mutt and Mission. So I went to somewhere in Parkway Parade, I don't remember. I spent $45, 25 years before, to buy one pen drive of 32 MB, not GB, 32 MB. And I went with so much as if I'm a scientist and gave that pen drive to the Swamiji. "Swamiji, the whole Mutt and Mission account, you can put it here." And he also is. So what I'm telling is, this looks like a children's play today. This is the value of science and this is the value of information. At that time, 25 years before, wow, I was, I was so much in a way happy, excited to get something which is so rare and how it can be this and that. Today, within 25 years, you give me 32 MB, I don't know what to do with that. Now if somebody comes and tells me, "Swamiji, one pen drive, 2 TB, yeah, could be. It doesn't excite you. Slowly that also is going. Anyway, what we are talking here is why that piece of information 24, 25 years before created so much excitement in my mind, now it doesn't. This is the value of science. Now it is very good. After some time it becomes old time. Things change. Objective science change. What has not changed, or what has changed very little, is the person himself or herself who does scientific discovery or invention, or one who uses that. Is there any change in him? That which changes him is called knowledge. Remaining all is information. And that could be a small thing like a pen drive to the big thing like a space shuttle. I don't know much about it, just what you know, I may know, same thing. But time is totally different. Space shuttle, the small part with a human being used to come and fall in the water, and then they used to bring back the human being. That was the initial way of doing it. Now it comes and just goes and parks itself in a proper parking place. And person opens the door and comes out. What I'm telling is, science, which is still part of information only. Even if it is great, even if it is so huge, make of billions of dollars or whatever. Think about, just this for understanding us. When Holy Mother was staying in Calcutta, at that time, the cars and buses had not yet started that much. Tram was there, of course, and train also was there. But train had just started. Holy Mother she is expressing to the devotee, the world has changed. You know, Sharad started from Calcutta in the morning. By evening he reached Jairamati. Today you reach Jairamati in 2.5 hours. Mother says since morning he started, evening he reached. So fast. One girl was married, seems to be from the city. So she is little educated. She came to the little smaller town, got married and came to the smaller town, and she was considered as very smart. Why? She knows how to, what is the word for it? To Gadita Domdeva? Winding the wall clock. We used to use it that. Like there is a spring which you do the winding. That girl knew that, how to do it. And Holy Mother says, so-and-so's daughter-in-law is very intelligent. She can do the winding of the wall clock. Because the science, which is information, was up to that level. And that was exciting. Today all the concepts have gone. Many new words come which were not there in the dictionary, especially from scientific point of view. Many things. I have no idea. The word LCD was not there 20 years before. Then there was something, they call it liquid circuit, something was there, which made the quartz and electronic wristwatches very cheap. Quartz came much later. It's called what circuit? Something they say. Anyway, so what I'm telling is, even if it is science, which is so exciting today, after some days it won't be exciting at all. Think of even 15-20 years before. To travel by aeroplane was not common for everybody. That's how when AirAsia started, they told now everybody can fly. Because everybody couldn't fly. It was not easy for everybody to fly. Other day somebody told, what is special about it? Why you people make much about Swami Vivekananda went and spoke in Chicago? Hundreds of flights are going to Chicago and hundreds of professors are speaking. I said, because it was 150 years before. And this very concept of religious harmony was never spoken on an international platform. That concept was very new. So it was important, and it is still important. After 120 years also, what he said, still people don't understand. Still we talk about tolerating each other. Tolerance, till now, a good people are tolerating each other. I told in one place, it's a high time for us to accept, which he told 120 years before, to accept, not only tolerate. But time has not come yet of accepting everyone from a religious point of view. So, the knowledge is that which becomes part of you. But that is with respect to the objective knowledge. As singing become part of you, you can't forget singing. skill becomes part of you. You cannot find morning, so okay, I deleted my driving skill. But that is about the objective knowledge which becomes part of you, becomes part of your character. But when you come to know about yourself, you are intuitively know yourself, but you are not aware about knowledge about yourself. I am sitting here and I know that I am sitting here. You say, I am hearing you, and I know that I am hearing you. I am sitting here is my experience, but there is someone who knows that I know that I am sitting. I am sitting is one thing, but I know that I am sitting. Again, I know that I am sitting. There is a nice small book called The Cognition of Cognition. Object is that which you can objectify. The knowledge about that object, objectifying that knowledge, that you have cognized an object, that cognition can be cognized again. That's from subjective or Vedanta perspective. So here Sri Krishna says, what is this knowledge? Knowledge is that which unchangeable, even remembering and forgetting has no entry in that knowledge of self. You don't have to say, I remember that who am I? No, you don't remember, you already are. You cannot forget who you are. Intuitively we know, and that realization has to take place. So Krishna told, Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitramiha vidyate. There is nothing purer. Purer means that which cannot be contaminated again. Example's sake, objective knowledge like singing, etc. I told. It cannot be again contaminated by singing out of tune. Purity. The more good singer you are, more purer form of music is yours. It has less and less chances of being contaminated. Contaminated means that purity of knowledge doesn't go away. That awareness of that knowledge that becomes part of you remains so much one with you that it cannot be contaminated, cannot be forgotten, cannot be removed, cannot be erased. Now to achieve this knowledge, when we talk about knowledge, it is knowledge of the self, it is not knowledge of the object. To achieve this self-knowledge, different yogas, different spiritual disciplines are prescribed. Many times you will find that it is said that there is no process. There is no process of achieving knowledge. Because if you define the process, then you follow the process and then you say, then why didn't I get it? This is little contradictory. One person, one devotee, told to Holy Mother, I want to go for tapasya. I will go and doing tapasya. What you will do? Minimum contact with the world, and I will meditate and do japa, etc., etc. for whole my daytime. other than when I'm sleeping. All my waking hours I want to spend in spiritual practices. Holy Mother says this. How long you should do japa? Till you come to know that you cannot realize God by simply doing japa. Japa is an action. If we cannot realize God or cannot do spiritual advancement, then why we should do japa? If it is said that by doing japa itself you can realize God, then japa becomes an activity which without devotion, without faith also you can do. In our Upanishad once it is said that by reading Vedas you can't realize God. It is written in the Veda itself. Why? Because reading is a process. Bhagavad Gita study can advance you spiritually. But if I say, read this book, it will make you spiritual. Cannot. Anybody can read that. You are interested or not, you just read. Reading is a process. We are not talking about reading. Reading, take help of reading for your understanding and improvement. Not the reading as an activity. In the same way hearing, in the same way going to pilgrimage. Is there any scriptures where it is said, visit Varanasi 20 times in your life and you will be liberated? No. Because going to Varanasi, you can go like a tourist also. Just going to Varanasi doesn't make you spiritual. Just reading book doesn't make you spiritual. Just coming to the temple doesn't make you anything until your purpose is clear. If people come, but your motive is something not spiritual, so it doesn't help you. So here it is say, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Now who will receive the knowledge? You must have this faith, you must have this Shraddha. Shraddha doesn't mean just to follow. Shraddha also, Swamiji says, Shraddha is a word which is very difficult to translate in English. Shraddha they generally translate as faith. Faith is only one aspect of Shraddha. Shraddha has love. Shraddha has faith. Shraddha has bit of fear. Fear means fear just as you are little fear of elders. They are not killing you, they are not scolding you. But considering somebody as an elder, that fear. So he says, Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. One who is anchored in this, that yes, by doing this, I will advance in spiritual life. Tatparaha sanyatendriya. You don't have any control over your senses, then how you are going to be introvert? Your senses will drag you out. Your senses will make you unstable. So it is said that you must have some control over your senses. A spiritual person, whatever spiritual you are, but if you say that you don't have enough control over your senses, then your spirituality doesn't have that footing strong. That's why you will find sometimes incidents, we are not here to justify anything or we are not here to belittle anybody, but when you hear any incident about any person who is supposed to be spiritual but did some mistakes, that means foundation was not very strong, but was strong enough to construct the superstructure, but then found that no, foundation there is some issues. So a person with control over the mind and senses, person with faith, Shraddha, and no lethargy, no inertia in practicing spiritual practices. Why this I am telling? Many times it is the condition of your body which doesn't allow you to do spiritual practice. There is a big concept which sometimes I have told some places and I am still developing it in my mind for myself, is when you are very tired, physically or mentally, doing what you feel relaxed. When you have nothing to do, we are totally free, what you do? That is where your mind is settled. You cannot be called spiritual, that no, I go to temple every day, I meditate every day 1 hour. Yes, you do it. When you do not meditate, when you are not busy in your work, what you do? You keep on scrolling the mobile phone. You keep on watching something. Which is the place where you relax? What is that which makes you relaxed? That has to be spirituality. When I am too much tired, physically or mentally, do I feel I am very tired? Let me sit and take the name of God for a while. You're tired, you sleep. You're tired, you watch movies. You want to relax. You enjoy in different ways. God doesn't come into picture at that time. So they say then, that's why if you are reading our Nirvana magazine, in last issue, I wrote a small article called Lift Landing Level. That was the title. When we installed the lift in our temple, so it's an engineering process. There are contractors and architects, they were doing it. After the lift was installed, I was asked a question, very interesting, and then I developed this from spiritual perspective, how it can be. Swamiji, which level you want to rest your lift? When your lift is not in use, where you want to go, that lift will be parked. Not always on the first floor or the ground floor, no, you decide. When nobody used the lift for last, say, 5 minutes. You go by the lift and just stand in the temple side corridor. Don't use the lift for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, there is certain time. It will immediately go down by itself. Because we have selected first floor as lift landing level. I can select the second floor also. That engineer told me, when lift is not in use, it will go to the second floor and be there. I give you an example. You are staying in a, say, 25-story building. But you are say for example, you are a VIP, whatever. You may, I don't know whether it is allowed or not, but you may choose. Is there any extra money that I have to pay? Whenever lift is not in use, it should come and stand on my level. And they can do it. It's a matter of computer adjustment. Not that when lift is not in use, it should be on the lowest level. No. Have you seen any lift which goes to basement 3 and stand there. All the lift come to the level 1 and stand generally. But you can ask the lift to be parked at any level of the building. This is science. That I started thinking, when my mind is not in use, where it goes and being parked? It gets parked in Facebook, keep on scrolling. It is parked in YouTube, seeing videos. It is parked in drinking, it is parked in smoking, it is parked in gallivanting, whatever you want to say. When my mind is not in use, can it be parked in God? When I have nothing to do, my mind will do japa. When I want rest, that also is another need. That parking level is called resting level. The lift will come and rest there, which is my resting place, where I feel more relaxed. It is what the activity you take up to be relaxed, correct? So that has to be if you are spiritual minded, slowly it has to come. You will find in some songs, there is one song where God addresses that Aramer Sthan, that is the word. You are the place of my resting place. You are my resting place. When people die, you say rest in peace. When I am alive, why can't I rest in peace? Why should I rest in peace when I die? I should be at peace when I am alive. How you can be at rest? Which is your resting place? Generally, if you are not aware, instinctively you choose the place of your interest. Watching movies, whatever activities, positive, negative, whatever. Oh, when I'm stressful, I just go for a walk. Better than many other things. Is there possible that whenever my mind is tired, it finds rest in the name of God? That is your mental level actually. Not for half an hour, 1 hour you meditate. When you have nothing to do, when I have nothing to do, I meditate. I meditate in my normal hours, but when I am totally free, I choose to meditate, I choose to do japa, I choose to do this. So that's why we say when God becomes the center of your life, not at the periphery, not I allocate little time for spiritual practice. I do spiritual practice when necessary. I go out and do work. Not that I take rice and then put curry over it or sambar over it. I eat curry, put little rice over it. Just contradictory example only. Not that I have a routine of doing spiritual practice half an hour, 2 times, 3 times a day. Not that this is in my routine. No. My routine is all my waking hours is dedicated to God. Because I have to work, I take my mind out, do work and come back. That's what Sri Ramakrishna says. The needle of the compass always comes and rests at north. It goes here and there when you disturb it, but it comes back and remains only in north. In the same way, our mind can go anywhere, but eventually it has to come back to that direction called God. So we shall take up it next time again.